14-yard line of Mission Viejo. This drive started from their own 8. No, into the game is Weston Long. He was the quarterback to begin the year, and he'll need to make a big play now. Long gives to Feliciano. No, instead he'll keep and scurry his way to the 10. That'll be a third down stop for the Diablos. Now under 4 minutes to go, the Broncos are in a do-or-die 4th and 6, sitting at the Mission Viejo 9.
Puzzling play call. You go back to the run. You're down 18 in the fourth quarter with 3:41 remaining. You gotta take shots in the end zone, Nick.
And that shot will be dished out by the quarterback who returns, Kyle Williams. 3:26 to go. The clock continues to run. It's becoming a real mortal enemy for the Broncos. This is the game, 4th and 4. It's a reverse. Out to Colin Baker. He'll throw to the end zone. Jamie Nunley's got it. Touchdown Broncos. He is not done just yet. The Arizona commit hauls in the pass. A little abracadabra. We'll see you here. Instead, we'll throw it there. And the Broncos on a 4th down and 4 cash in with a touchdown to number 4. Jamie Nunley hauls in his 4th touchdown of the season.
And that's what it took. You had to pull out the bunny out of the hat to create something for yourself. And they elect to go to the wide receiver reverse. Receiver passes the ball to another receiver. So some trickery required for the Broncos to get on the board.
Well, how about the only pass for Colin Baker this season is a touchdown to Jamie Nunley, his other fellow receiver. It's not over just yet. They still are very much alive in this ball game. But if the Broncos do not recover what I believe they will attempt, which is an onside kick, then trailing by 11, you'll give the ball back to that Mission Viejo dangerous running game. And really, they're about a first down away from winning it. So you take a look at the Broncos today. It may be too little too late, but boy, is this a tenacious football team. Tough as nails. They traveled, 95 yards in only a minute and a half to put their first touchdown on the board. That was a sign of champions.
A pregame, we talked about it, and it's the scrappiness of the Broncos. They're the type of team, despite being down 18, still decide to fight.
Yeah, you take a look at that ball club, though. This is an offense in the Broncos that after 45 minutes of football here from Angel Stadium, they have only gained 5 first downs. Mission Viejo with around 30 today. to take a look at that number and only trail by 11 here with a chance to come back, that is some phenomenal efforts for that defense to keep them alive. Bend but don't break.
Despite Mission Viejo's success on offense, you got to blame Mission Viejo's offense for keeping the Broncos still in this ball game. It's because they run the ball a lot.
It's because they have been unable to convert numerous third downs. Same deal with Vista Murrieta, but they did, when it mattered most, cash in on a 4th down and 4 as Jamie Nunley hauled it in for the touchdown, the lone touchdown for the Vista Murrieta Broncos today. 21-10. The Broncos will elect to go onside kick here, trailing by 11. And boy, this has all of a sudden become a ball game that's gotten oh so close.
It really has, but we'll see. Pending this onside kick will determine anything. Let's go through scenarios. If you do recover the ball, all you need is a field goal, and then you have to go through another onside kick. So ideally, a field goal here in this possession, and then in the last possession, if you do recover another onside, that's when you go for that touchdown. But still in it.
Austin Richardson will do the honors. Onside kick, hobbled off by the Diablos and will go out of bounds. That'll be a Mission Viejo recovery technically as the ball will scoot to the sideline. And with 3:11 to play, the Diablos are a mere few first downs away from clinching their way to back-to-back CIF Division II championships.
And I would say it would be one of the biggest victories of Mission Viejo's history. If they were to win this one, to go on to possibly face Folsom would be an extraordinary accomplishment.
1st and 10 for an oh-so-reliable running offense for the Diablos. Ion Sensi dots the I, give up the middle, scoots to the outside, and will run right into a Bronco wall at midfield, make it a gain of a yard. And Vista Murrieta burns their first of 3 charged timeouts, 3:05 to go, and the Diablos are only 1 first down away from a trip to the state championship game.
Yeah, Mission Viejo, all they have to do is run out the clock, but most importantly, protect the ball. No fumbles here. Vista Murrieta will look to punch that ball out in any situation here.
They have won the turnover differential, have the Broncos. They forced the interception by Brock Johnson in the opening half, but boy, it's just been a game that has gotten away from you if you're Coley Kendall and the Vista Murrieta Broncos. Been outgained in every statistical category, of course, outside of the turnover margin. And this has just been a game you'd love to forget about by that Broncos offense.
Yeah, Vista Murrieta obviously tonight did not show up on offense, and it just goes to show they probably just did not have the type of offense to win a championship game. It's a
They
lower
did have the defense, though. I'll give you that. This is a team that ranked number 1 in the league, if you will, the Southwestern League, only giving up 17 points per game. And they held their own, only allowing 21 to Mission Viejo, but the offense was nowhere to be found until it may have been too little too late. Ion Senzi, the eye back, gets the give up the middle, bouncing outside, and nearly got away from a Bronco wall. Instead, gains about 2. They get 3rd down and 8, and the Broncos elect to burn their second of their 3 charged timeouts with 2:56 to go. And one more time, Mission Viejo is a mere 7 yards away from a first down to seal it.
So the Broncos still fighting hard. Their chances are super slim in this situation. Down 11, 2:56 remains in the ball game, but you got to give credit to the Broncos. They're still electing to fight.
Yeah, this is just a scrappy unit. If you are the Vista Murrieta Broncos, a team that has forced, given that they make the stop, back-to-back 3 and outs. And they were able to counter last time with the touchdown drive, and they are looking to do just that. Let's put out a scenario here. The Broncos may defensively make the stop. If they do, what is the play call with under 3 minutes to go, trailing by 11 offensively?
Offensively, I would do no different. I wouldn't risk putting the ball into Brock Johnson. He's vulnerable to the turnover. So I would just have to give it off to my Italian Stallion.
Italian Stallion. That is a phenomenal name.
Ishenzo, I would give him the ball. Just run out the clock as much as you can. Punt it away. Force a bad Vista Murrieta offense to get back on the field and pretty much just lose it for them.
Toss play to Romeo Senzo, bouncing outside, looking for the first down. Did he get there? Yes, he did. Mission Viejo is on their way to the CIF State Championship game for Division II football. Rome Ionsenzi, how fitting, carries this football team with yet another carry over 150 yards today, and that run propels the Diablos to the state championship game. It's a first down pickup. One more time, Mission Viejo has done it.
You talk about discipline, and I'm not talking about the players, but from the coaches. To stick to a game plan. Sure, it's 3rd and long, but you elect to run. That's sticking to the game plan hardcore.
The Diablos are 2:24 away from a trip to the state championship game. Romeo Senzi dots the I, give up to the fullback Bryce Chambers, and he'll run loose and pick up another first down, a gash for 10. And the Broncos know it. This game is over, and that defense has... Boy, in the first half, it looked pretty bad. In the second, it has looked out of control. The Vista Murrieta Broncos give up yet another gash for 8. And on a second down, Mission Viejo knows it. They're on their way to the state championship.
So Bob Johnson here will get his 120th victory and a chance to go play Folsom in the state title game. That's going to be really something to look forward to. We'll have that game.
Yeah, coming up on Spreaker in a couple of weeks. That'll be phenomenal. Mission Viejo, they start with the running game, and they'll finish as Bryce Chambers carries for a gain of 3, move the chains with 1:31 to go. It's just a formality from here on out. The Broncos, to my chagrin, do burn a timeout. The game is over, but they do want to maybe with literally about I guess you could say about the likelihood of winning the lottery, maybe punch the ball out and give themselves a chance to go back on offense. But, boy, did Mission Viejo just have the perfect game plan and executed to perfection.
They really did. It was the run game last week, rushing for over 400 yards. This game, they were nowhere near the 400-yard mark, more close to like 250, somewhere around in that range. We'll bring you stats as soon as we have them. But Mission Viejo stuck through and continued to do what they do best.
how sweet it is for Mission Viejo. They are 2 victory formation knees away from a trip to the state championship game 2 weeks from today. And it has been nothing short of a clinic in all 3 phases. They dominated special teams with the field position being heavily in favor of the Diablos. On defense, they kept the Broncos out of the end zone for all but the final 3 minutes. And then on the offensive side, gaining over 300 yards, dominated the Broncos over 6-1 in favor of the first down margin. And now with one more knee, here we go. The Diablos will go back to the state championship game. They have done it, a 21-10 demolishing effort over the Vista Murrieta Broncos. It's an 11-point win, but Dan, it wasn't even that close. It was even a bigger win than that.
It really was. The score indicates 21-10, an 11-score victory for 11-point victory for the Diablos, but you said it best. It actually was a lot bigger of a margin than that, and the stats will show it.
They certainly will. I believe, and don't count me on this, Mission Viejo gained 26 first downs, and the Broncos gained 5. On the offensive side, the Broncos had a grand total of 18 yards rushing. The Diablos over 200. And then, of course, you go furthermore, love the call siren, if you will, but you add another statistic, Dan. This is a team that led the entire way. All 48 minutes, they were on top and never gave up that lead.
They did not. And it just goes to show how well coached this team is. It's led by Bob Johnson, who gets his 120th victory. So an illustrious program he's been running all for a decade plus. And, hey, let's tip our caps off to Vista Murrieta for even making it this far.
Yeah, this is a team that has been down and out for the last 2 games, was tough as nails to come back into the ball game, but, boy, this is a team 3 doors down. 3 doors down. Cool in. We're getting stats. Awesome. All right. Well, this is a team, Mission Viejo, led by, I believe, one of the best receivers to not have a single Division I offer. We looked at it, Dan, and we've looked at the Bosco Braves all year, Dan, and we took a look at one guy without a Division I offer, Kyle Sweet. You know who reminds me of that?
Who does?
Mission Viejo's own Connor Hill with 2 touchdown grabs today, 3 receptions, 55 yards, and he was a downfield threat for the entire ball game.
He was, and he came up with the 2 biggest grabs of the ball game, and out of 9 throws, he gets 2 of the biggest ones.
Yeah.
Mission Viejo pretty much didn't throw the ball. They didn't have to. They just pounded the rock into the throats of the Murrieta Broncos, and it just goes to show if you just stick to the game plan, no matter what's occurring, good things will occur.
Yeah, you take a look at it, and we knew it coming in. Mission Viejo ran the ball 9 times, passed the ball 9 times, ran the ball over 40 times. You knew it coming in for Vista Murrieta. They were going to run the football, and they actually did a relatively good job at stopping it, especially forcing so many 3-and-outs. But it was just the offense that was so lethargic, couldn't even get going. Only found the end zone once, and that came with 3 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. This was a team that, in all 3 phases, was just dominated. This was a thrashing, thrown around like a rag doll were the Broncos. It was just a complete annihilation. The Broncos are a great football team, 11-2, all the honors, but boy, did Mission Viejo just look like the much better football team.
They were the superior team, and it just goes to show on defense as well. What they did was, I don't have the stats in front of me, but it's got to be less than 10 yards for the second half.
Yeah,
for the Broncos, that the Broncos amounted to
until the big pass play that led to the touchdown. They actually, I was keeping track.
It was at -15 at one point. Yeah. I do remember that.
This was a team that in their first 12 plays offensively of the second half had a grand total of -4 yards of offense. It just was not the half. Boy, you come out of the locker room thinking we're within 11, and within 4. My apologies. Shouldn't have even been all that close of a ball game. Yet you turn around in the second half and just play some real below-average offensive football.
Yeah, it was just a flat-out. It's not a shutout. Obviously, the Broncos did amount to 10 points, but it sort of had that feel of the offense didn't show up at all. It was just a constant struggle for the Broncos to even get a first down at that, or even get a yard or two.
Yeah, that's all.